It seems like there's always some sort of scandal going down in Hollywood, and if it's not one thing, then it's another, especially with child stars. So let's take a look at one of those scandals involving Jennette McCurdy.
How you doing, Mr. Drummond? Miss McCurdy? One quick question. I heard you guys met on Twitter. Is it easy to find chemistry with 140 characters or less?
Yep, there's 3 characters.
See, that was a good one.
Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to take a look at Jennette McCurdy's short-lived relationship with Andre Drummond and at a scandal involving Nickelodeon star Jennette McCurdy. But first, if you guys do enjoy this type of content like Hollywood stuff, scandals, controversies, pop culture, gossip, stuff like that, like dark side of Hollywood type stuff, then please consider subscribing to this channel because I literally want to do YouTube for a living. So if you don't mind. Jennette McCurdy found her fame when she became the star of one of Nickelodeon's top shows called iCarly. In iCarly, she played Sam, who was a bit of a juvenile delinquent. Before this, she had a small part making a guest appearance in Zoey 101. Now, Jennette has been through a lot, to say the least, and something that I will say about Jennette is that she is very courageous for standing up against Nickelodeon and standing up against that creep, Dan Snyder. And she actually came out with a book in 2022 detailing her life growing up, and it was very sad, to say the least. She went through a lot in her childhood from her mom and from Nickelodeon in general. So I just really feel for Jennette, and I feel bad that somebody she trusted would leak her images like this. So let's take a look at that scandal. Andre Drummond, who is an NBA player, and Jennette McCurdy briefly dated sometime between 2013 and 2014. At the time, Jennette was 21 years old, and I believe Andre was 20. The two actually met on Twitter and they arranged to meet up in person. In her book, Jennette talked a bit about her relationship with Andre and how they met. She said, "Another text comes through, this one from the guy I'm currently stringing along. Current guy, Andre Drummond, and I met via Twitter. We arranged to meet up in person. I invited some friends so I wouldn't get murdered. Once I knew he was safe to be around, we went to a fancy dinner and laser tag and mini golf. We went to Disneyland together to watch the reworks. That's where I'm at right now with current guy. The distraction has been nice, but I'm ready for a replacement. I whip out my phone to check the text from him. What are you up to? I'm no stickler on spelling, but get your twos right. That's it. I'm ready to end things. I draft a text. Hey, I'm really sorry, but I just can't do this right now. My mom's gonna die, and I really need some time to just be alone. I hope you can understand. Send. Done. Simple as that. I look back up at my dying mother. A text pings. Don't say that, boo. Your mom's not gonna die. He ignores the rest of my message. I roll my eyes. I've told him 12 times that my mom's dying of cancer, but he acts like she has a sprained ankle. He has no concept of loss. I feel like the world is divided into 2 types of people. People who know loss and people who don't. And whenever I encounter someone who doesn't, I disregard them. Mom takes a sharp breath in, then out. The hospice nurse locks eyes with Dad, gives a slight nod. Dad looks at us. Mom's gone. We're all numb. We don't cry, we just sit in silence. Finally, I pick up my phone. 100 messages have poured in. Everyone's heard. E-News broke the story. How they already know, I have no idea. I go to my text tab, then click on the chain with current guy. I stare at his last text. Don't say that, boo. Your mom's not gonna die. I text him back. She just did. So that was intense. And it seemed like the two were just at different chapters of their life, and it didn't seem like they were very compatible.
This guy sucks.
Jennette also detailed feeling pushed to date Andre because he was so persistent. She didn't initially feel chemistry towards him, but she figured she might as well give it a shot because of how persistent he was being.
What is this?
So Jennette calls it quits with Andre, and a short time after this, some racy photos of her hit the internet. They're not anything terrible. I mean, nowadays they would be considered like totally normal. They wouldn't even be racy. Like pics like this wouldn't even be making headlines these days. But back then, 10 years ago, I guess it was considered racy, and it was photos of her in her bra and underwear.
3 shockingly provocative pics of the iCarly star have gone viral. In one, she's wearing a pink bandeau top. In another, a lacy bra. But the third one seriously will give your grandma a heart attack.
So Jennette calls it quits with Andre, and she goes on a talk show, and she's sort of making fun of the relationship on the talk show. TMZ published this article on March 2nd of 2014. It says, iCarly star puts NBA player on blast. Laughs at relationship, says kissing sucked. iCarly star Jennette McCurdy is kissing and telling in a big way about her short-lived relationship with NBA star Andre Drummond. And according to Jennette, the kissing part sucked. McCurdy appeared on Pete Holmes' podcast, You Made It Weird, and spilled her guts about her fling with 20-year-old Drummond. Jennette didn't pull punches, admitting she only heard about the guy after he repeatedly chose her as his woman crush Wednesday on Twitter and eventually agreed to talk to Drummond because he seemed like a big deal. Jennette says they had some early conversation that gave pause, but she decided to go out on some dates with him anyway. McCurdy then describes their first kiss, which went down after a laser tag date, saying it just didn't go great. No sparks. The shapes weren't right. Ew, that's so nasty, because I feel like we've all been there, and I feel like I know what she's talking about the shapes didn't feel right. Still, they continued to hang out, McCurdy says, and he was so into her, he bought her a necklace and got down on his knees during a dinner date and asked her to be his girlfriend. Even though she wasn't into it, she said yes, only to break up with him on the phone a few days later. McCurdy seems to be laughing at Drummond the entire time, painting him as this pathetic, immature guy who doesn't have a clue about how to court a woman. TMZ was able to get a comment from Andre. They said, we spoke to Andre, who tells us, I found Jennette's comments funny. There's a lot of false info in there, but I'll be the mature person about the situation and let it die out. Andre also posted a Vine video moments ago that seemed to be a response to the story, in which he says, sometimes you gotta live and learn by the mistakes you make. You gotta move on and keep pushing. Shortly after that podcast was released was when this scandal really broke out, and racy photos of Jennette were surfacing on multiple different websites. Jennette put out a tweet saying, to anyone disappointed, I sent those pics to one person. You can connect the dots. Shocked someone would stoop so low. So people started doing just that and connecting the dots, and they traced the photos back to Andre Drummond having to have been the person who leaked these photos. When TMZ asked him about it, he said, I did not leak any photos of Jennette McCurdy. I want nothing to do with her or the situation. I'm just worried about Ball. After these photos came out, it was time for the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, and Jennette ended up not going to that. I talked a little bit more about that in the video that I posted a couple days ago about Jennette and Ariana Grande's feud. So if you guys want to go watch that when you're done watching this. But Jennette was pretty much staying low-key for the most part after these photos surfaced. And the way that a lot of people reacted to this scandal was shocking and disappointing. Dylan Sprouse actually put out a tweet at Jennette McCurdy, and all he said was, it happens, which could be interpreted as a little bit tone deaf. I mean, it sounds like maybe he was trying to help make her feel like not as bad, but he could have gone about it a better way. Ariana Grande, who was Jennette's co-star when they were filming Sam and Cat, actually went on a radio show at around the same time, and they asked her about Sam and Cat and if they were going to be filming a second season for it, and this was at the same time that Jennette and Ariana were sort of feuding. But the men on this radio show were saying some disgusting things about Jennette.
Hey, and real quick, is Sam and Cat coming back for another season?
We don't know anything about it, but you know, I'm grateful for the fans who've supported it from the beginning, and it's not in my hands at this point. But as soon as I know something, I'll let my fans know.
All right. Tell that other girl to keep her clothes on, not send those pictures anymore.
What did you say?
I said, tell that other girl not to be sending those pictures out to those guys anymore. You know what I'm talking
They
about.
look hot. Who cares? When I saw those pictures come out, it was like on Perez or something. I was like, it's so funny because I should have been so shocked, but I was literally like, work. Okay. I was like, work.
Man, the generations have changed.
I know.
It's a different
She had
generation.
her panties and her underwear and her bra on. It's not like she was nude. It was tasteful.
Yeah.
It was very tasteful.
It's just not that big of a deal anymore, right?
She had that booty toots too. She looked good.
You know what? Since you've said that, that's inspired me. I'm getting my nudies out there today.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, come on. If you look like that, you got to make light of it. That's all.
All right, Ariana, we're going to play your brand new single. Do you want to introduce it?
Yes.
So after this happened, Jennette pretty much laid low for a while, and then a few months later she came out with her web series called What's Next for Sarah, and that was a whole other scandal. I touched on that in my video about her feud with Ariana, but it seemed like the raunchy photo scandal was behind her for the most part. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. If you have any other video requests for me to do, then let me know. If you want me to talk about any scandals in Hollywood or any celebrity relationships, anything like that, you can let me know. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't yet subscribed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.